you now.
Do it.
Do it.
Good morning. We just woke up. It's why my hair looks like this. And we're in Cabo San Lucas. We've got our coffees, and today is our last day. We took a full week and a half off of work, which let me tell you, we've never done because we own a business. So there's always work to be done. But we did it and it felt so good. And a lot of this last week and a half has been us taking care of ourselves. So the first week we spent doing a week of EMDR and marriage counseling.
8 hours a day.
8 hours a day. I think I'm gonna post a little video. It's probably gonna be a boring video of it, but yeah, 8 hours a day of EMDR, Sarah-set, and marriage counseling. And it was really intense. And then the last 3 days have been this. Being here, getting rested, getting connected to each other, and it's been amazing. Okay, so this is our last morning in Mexico. We're going back home to California this time, and then we go back home to Maui in a couple of weeks, and we're really excited. We had such a good time, and one of the things that we've been talking about since we've been here, because our 10 days of EMDR and then marriage counseling and doing Sarah-set was really like a reset button for us, and then coming to Mexico was to recharge after doing all of that internal work. And one of the things we've been talking about while we've been in Mexico is getting our hearts back online and getting really heart connected and like reviving ourselves. And this morning and last night we were walking on the beach and we were talking about different ways to do that, and I thought it'd be fun to share some of our ways that we do that with you guys. And so I have about 3 different ways that I want to cover, but there's a lot of different options within those 3 ways. So the first way to wake your heart up, to get heart connected and to get your heart back online, is to get connected to your heart in the first place. How I do that year round is by doing check-ins with my heart. I normally put my hand on my heart and I ask my heart, how are you? What are you feeling? What do you need from me today? And whenever I do that, it helps me get really connected and in tune with what's going on in me. And it's kind of like a tuning to yourself so that you can figure out how to best take care of yourself. So one way that I do that is through journaling, and I actually will write out the questions and write out the answers to that. And sometimes it's really hard to get heart connected if you are shut down. And what happens when we have pain in life is our heart creates walls to protect itself from feeling that pain. And those walls actually dissociate us from love, from ourselves, from God, and from each other and the people that we love. And so one of the ways that I've gotten really heart connected is by getting undisassociated, which means I'm proactively feeling. A lot of us proactively numb ourselves because we're afraid of pain, and it's a normal, natural, like survival mechanism and self-protection. But you can't actually have your heart come alive if you're constantly protecting yourself from pain, because the walls that protect you from pain also protect you and block out love. And so one of those ways is getting heart connected. If I tell you like, hey, ask your heart those same questions I ask my heart and journal it, and that feels impossible to you, then I highly encourage you to look into our programs. You shouldn't know how to do it. No one ever taught you. These aren't normal life tools and skills that are taught to us in school or from our parents. Most people are walking around living disconnected from themselves. And so if you need help with that, that's a huge part of what we do in our programs. You can find the link below in the description to either watch our workshop or to book a call with our team to look into our programs. But the next thing that I would say to do is figure out what you desire. One thing that Spence and I have been doing for years is exploring desires, like what feels exciting, what makes us come alive, what feels really scary. Ooh, bee.
Is it still near me?
Yes. Speaking of scary, One of Spencer's biggest fear is of bees. He like freaks out every time there's a bee around. Look how good that looks. So we figure out like what scares us. What is something really risky that we can do? Risk actually brings our hearts back to life. Sorry, babe. I'm blocking the jam.
Excuse me, don't block
Risk
the jam.
brings our hearts alive. It's stepping out on the ledge, stepping into the unknown and getting out of comfort is a huge way to make your heart come online. One of the ways that we both did that, I did that by starting Alive and Free, and Spencer did that by quitting his old job and joining me full time in Alive and Free. And it was terrifying for him. He was risking everything. He was risking his security. He was risking his ability to provide for me. He was risking stepping out on the line and potentially failing. But that risk made him come alive, and it led him to opportunities where he's getting to constantly come alive because he has the freedom to. And so risking it, figuring out what your heart desires, and like going after the things that make you come alive or that feel really scary, because that also will make you come alive. And then the third thing is, what is my third thing? The third thing is vulnerability, extreme vulnerability and honesty. One of the things us humans do a lot is we hide. We hide because we're terrified of pain. We're terrified of rejection. We're terrified that if someone saw who we actually were, if someone heard what we thought about, if someone saw the things in our past that we did that we're the most ashamed of, or heard about our deepest fears, that they would reject us and that they would decide that we weren't enough. And if we get to be fully seen and known in the things that we are the most terrified of and then get rejected there, it feels like someone's rejecting who you actually are. So what we do is present this false self. We present a more confident self. I find myself doing that all of the time with Spencer. I won't want to own the insecurities that I have because I want him to feel like I'm confident and love myself and I'm powerful. And still, even though I am those things, I have fears and I have insecurities. And if I constantly just present my false self, my super confident self that doesn't have fears, I don't actually get to be seen in the things that feel painful and scary. And if I don't get to be seen in those things, I actually don't get to be fully loved for who I am. So risking it and getting to be seen in our deepest, darkest places and bringing that vulnerability and that honesty actually allows us to let love into the core of who we are, which helps our heart come alive. You can't come alive if you're constantly hiding this thing that you want to come alive. The way that you come alive is saying like, hey, this is the thing that I feel the most afraid of. Hey, here are the things that I think about. Hey, here are the things that I've wanted to hide from people that I don't want people to know about me, but I want to share it with you because I'm actually terrified of what you think of me, and I'm terrified that you'll think that I'm not enough. And so I actually want to let you into that fear because I don't want to stay isolated in this alone. And so it's sharing so that you can be seen and known. That's our deepest core need as a human, is to be seen, to be known, and to be loved. And so I really encourage you to do those three things. If you are watching this video and you want your heart to come alive and you want your heart to come back online and you need help, you can click the link below and we would be happy to help you with that. And if you're watching this and you're like, I'm terrified of doing those things, but I'm going to commit to it, I'd love for you to comment, what are you terrified of and what are the things that you're going to be doing in your time to come back alive again. Love you guys. I hope you enjoyed.